welcome back to the channel. Thanks for stopping by. Yo, man, we had Master Ace on here one time before when he was teaming up with Marco Polo, who happens to be Canadian. So we had a little bit of crossover there once on the channel. And as you guys know, if I've said it a bunch of times, man, Master Ace is one of my favorite MCs of all time. Just criminally underrated for in a lot of people, man. A lot of people don't give this cat the respect that he deserves. This is a remix of Introspection. It's got a couple of UK artists on here. We got Upfront, we got the Nicewun. So yeah, man, let's jump right in. See what they got for us.
Serenely let us move to distant places, and let no sentiments of home detain us. The cosmic spirit seeks not to restrain us, but lifts us stage by stage to wider spaces. Let's take a look.
If I had a nickel for every dime I've met in my lifetime, I'd be rich like black gold in the pipeline. The thing about it, I think about it at nighttime. I had success in my sight line, wasn't looking. What if the place I was raised at wasn't Brooklyn? Spent all that time in the kitchen, but I wasn't cooking. What if? Man, it's such a funny phrase, like walking through the rain while thinking about sunny days. I'm running plays, offensive, catalog extensive. What if I put you in intensive? Would you survive it? If your career died, could you revive it? If I asked how it felt, tell me, could you describe it? Listen, I'm screaming out no regrets and some holy sweats. They ain't hear what I told these vets. I told them, you only as good as your last release. What if it was a masterpiece? I'm saying 5 a.m. up.
I don't know, man, if it's, I mean, dude, he's got such a smooth voice, man. Just I loved him from the second that I saw him in the symphony. Like when I must have replayed his verse on that. I wore that tape out, bro. That, like, when you're on a track, and back in those days, I mean, Big Daddy Kane, that, like, everyone was loving Big Daddy Kane, and when you're on the track with a bunch of killers, including Big Daddy Kane, and you're the best MC on that track, man, Master Ace is that cat. So I've loved this guy from way back in the day, man. I mean, maybe it's because I'm 50 years old and I've been listening to hip hop for so long, and I've lived a lot of life. I've been doing a lot of introspection lately. And I was just talking to the wife about it the other day, just about that. I'm a true believer is that everyone walks that path, man, and where you're sitting at that moment is exactly where you're supposed to be. And that's the card you've been dealt. That's the life you're supposed to live. And the whole idea of wishing something different. And I mean, we all do it. I always say, like, I don't have regrets. I have remorse, because if I regret something, that means I'm not here, and I love my life and where I'm sitting at and what's happening. But yeah, man, I think this, because I'm older now, I do a lot of the introspection, and I think about some of the decisions that I made, and what if I had done this, and what if I had done that, and and I think we do it daily too, in the tiniest little things all the time. But I mean, he really talks about some, like, what happens if he wasn't born in Brooklyn? What happens if he was in the kitchen, not cooking, but rather, actually, maybe he changed it up and he's cooking crack instead, and that shit, and he starts selling that, ends up in prison. Never know Master Ace, right? What happens if he puts some guy in the hospital? What happens if he kills some cat? Like, what if he wasn't born in Brooklyn and was around these cats that, that was the role models, the people he looked up to that got him into hip hop. And I mean, there's so many things, like, one step could have been different, and there'd be none, like, there wouldn't be this song, there wouldn't be Master Ace, there would, like, but you're always going to ask yourself, man, what if, right? You do a lot as you get older, man.
Could you revive it? If I asked how it felt, tell me, could you describe it? Listen, I'm screaming out no regrets and some holy sweats. They ain't hear what I told these vets. I told them, you only as good as your last release. What if it was a masterpiece? I'm saying
5 a.m. up all night in my bed, thoughts running mad, leaving me wake up in my head, weary eyes, terrified, paralyzed by hysteria. We meet all criteria. 5 a.m. up all night in my bed, thoughts running mad, leaving me wake up in my head, weary eyes, terrified, paralyzed by hysteria. We meet all criteria.
Late night again, lost in my headspace, writing what I'm thinking. You can hear when you press play. Kinda like my brain's on overdrive when it gets late. Thoughts are flying like a motorbike in a death race. Lost in some past moments, questioning my choices, imagining I should have done it all in the next way. I've become my own worst critic, overthinking feats that I've achieved, questioning the core of things that I believe. What if I didn't find spitting? How would life be different? What would I place my faith in? Cause music's my religion. It's mad to think how if the smallest thing changed the
Yes. What a bar. What a bar. Come on, man. It's so nice to hear up front with Masta too. I gotta tell you. I'm digging that. I'm guessing Heart.Wyred was on that, was on the chorus there. I'm guessing that's who I'm guessing that's what it is. But yeah, man, up front. Yeah, man, talking about that again, that kind of just building upon. I mean, obviously, all these cats are going to bring up the same type of thing, man, about their own reflections and stuff like that. But like, that's even, Upfront came up directly, making that message, the hip hop message right at the beginning. Like, what if I didn't do this hip hop thing, man? It's my religion. What the hell would I believe in, right? Because I mean, that's a huge part. It's been a huge part of my life since I was 13 years old, and now over the past 5 years. Sorry, 1 second. Yeah, man, sorry about that. The dog was losing his mind. I don't know if you could hear him, but it was the big dog, so it's loud, booming, deep bass type of barking. Yeah, man, like it's become such a huge part of my life over the past 5 years. It'd be so hard for me to even think about UK hip hop not being part of my life, this channel not being part of my life. And again, it's just a simple thing, man. Thinking back to what happens if COVID never happened, because the whole reason why the whole reason why the channel exists is because we couldn't leave our houses. And I needed that creative output. And I found my way to UK hip hop, man. So if there was no COVID, there'd be no Canadian Dad Reacts, right? I wouldn't have tattoos on my skin. I wouldn't have the best music in the world in my headphones. So to think back to something that it was as world changing as COVID, you have to ask yourself, well, if I could go back and there be no COVID, would I do that, right? It's crazy, man. It's crazy when you put it like that, right? I love the horn on the chorus too. I dug that.
overthinking feats that I've achieved, questioning the core of things that I believe. What if I didn't find spitting? How would life be different? What would I place my faith in? Cause music's my religion. It's mad to think how if the smallest thing changed, the butterfly effect means you'd end up in the next place. What if I said there's no limit to what I can achieve? What if I got my 8 hours and wasn't half asleep? I can't lie, being tired has less benefits. It's like I'm scared to rest because sleeping is death's relative.
5 a.m. up all night in my bed, thoughts running mad, leaving me wake up in my head, weary eyes, terrified, paralyzed by hysteria. We meet all criteria. 5 a.m. up all night in my bed, thoughts running mad, leaving me wake up in my head, weary eyes, terrified, paralyzed by hysteria. We meet all criteria.
Attention to detail and high definition ADHD meds still running in my system, feeling like ghost face. What's going on? I can't go to sleep. Awake, no solution, no longer works counting sheep. Many reasons keep me up, got a lot to prove. Strategic thoughts, planning my next move. Next buzz I write or skate trick I get. More importantly, making sure my kids' future's set. Facing tomorrow's challenges, sometimes it ain't easy. easy. Need to book my next sesh. Working my health with KGZ, but like a lost watch, it's hard finding the time bin. Racing against the clock, and like time for chime in. Introspection bars, Alias, let's drop it. Hip hop, inspirations, juice crew to split, profits to be awake. It's the cousin of life, so I'm grateful. All they tired lying next to my wife.
I never know what you're thinking.
Hey man, nice little twist there at the end with all these cats talking about things that they would, not things that they would change, but they wonder how their life would be different when they change. And the Nicewun comes in and talking about, you know, lying awake at night and like thinking about all this shit, like all the things that he thinks he has to achieve, all the things he has to do to reach the goals and all that kind of shit. But at the same time, at the very end, because Upfront ends his verse with, because sleep's the relative of death, and then the Nicewun's talking about like lying awake is basically the relative of life, right? And being awake and being there and present and being next to his wife, no matter what else is going on, man, being in that moment and relishing that time he has with the person he's with makes it all worth it, right? Makes it all worthwhile, all the sleepless nights, all the worrying, all that kind of stuff. And you know, makes life worth living, and makes all the other shit worthwhile. Those moments, those quiet moments, right? When you know you're in the right place at the right time with the right people, it makes a big difference.
Juice crew to split, profits to be awake. It's the cousin of life, so I'm grateful. All they tired lying next to my wife.
I never know what you're thinking about.
Is suffering from rapid delusions aggravated by a moronic mentality.
That was my trouble.
Hey man, big up Alias on the production. That shit was dope. Sorry, I'm not doing this. You have to ignore this one on the screen at the moment.
You can skip this video.
But yeah, man, I enjoyed that track. It was cool to hear those guys on with Masta. I'm surprised I haven't. This is a remix. I'm surprised I haven't heard the original one. I got to go back and see if I can find that one too, just to see if like what the difference is like or whatever. So hard to keep on top of everything. I'm so focused on the UK stuff that I miss so much that comes out on this side of the pond. But to be truthful, I'm not overly concerned or worried when I miss something. It sounds awful, but there's so much great stuff in the UK. That's mostly what I'm focused on. But cool track, man. Hopefully you dug it, and if you did, make sure you go back, run it back, man, and go over there and watch the video and play it a bunch of times. But love you guys for being here, like I always say, man. So go show these guys some love. And until next time, stay safe. Good to each other.